This FedGov Today program is sponsored by Snowflake and Carahsoft. First, though, the Central Intelligence Agency is moving out of the planning phase toward deployment of artificial intelligence. It's making AI models available all over its organization. Linnea Jones is the Chief Information Officer at CIA. Linnea, welcome. Thanks for joining me. What do you mean by all over the organization?
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, I want to say thank you, Francis. It's so great to see you again. I'm a friend of the community, and so we really appreciate it. And so you asked about where are we at with AI. Well, a lot of times when people think of AI, especially at the CIA, everyone defaults to the analyst and mission, but we're really using it at all aspects of the agency, from our financial organization, especially in cybersecurity. That's a huge place. Our human resources aspects, that's another place. And so we have a ton of different areas that we're looking to use that to help really improve processes, functions, but really also speed up kind of the rudimentary tasks that we do, and actually reap more benefits to focus on some of the harder challenges we have at the agency.
We're seeing all flavors of tools that agencies are using. Yeah. Some are off the shelf, some are proprietary, some are customized for individual organizations. Well, how are you approaching that at CIA?
Sure, absolutely. So for us, it's really a blend of both. And the reason why I say it that way is because we're very fortunate to have a lot of vendor partnerships with cloud service providers and AI companies that have graciously shared their models with us that we use. But we also have a ton of data, right? The mission of the intelligence community, and specifically CIA, is data is really what makes the mission possible. And so with that being the case, we look at blending our data, which could be proprietary from collection or intelligence related activities, and look at that, in some cases augmenting the intelligence that we provide by using the models with the external clients as well. And so that's a blend of both. And so I would say the idea of us having one or all, we really want to have both because it kind of opens the aperture as well for the use cases. And the other piece is with the intelligence data, we have intelligence overlays regarding how we collect or what type of collection. So we want to ensure that that's in place as well.
Is the type of data that the tool will use the primary determinant of whether you use something proprietary or something off the shelf, or are there other factors too?
It could be that. It could be the type of data. It could be the means or method that the data was obtained by. It could be in some cases, how frequent the data is collected, right? CIA has a huge open source mission, and so OSINT. And so very fortunate that at CIA, we use a lot of different firms of intelligence. And so, you know, whether it be related to cyber intelligence activities, whether it be to open source activities, even signals activities, it really just depends. For us, it'll always be a blend. We're very fortunate to have brilliant minds and brilliant developers that can create some custom tools, but when possible, we are looking at using commercial off-the-shelf products because that will actually help us to streamline the process and actually make the intelligence available much quicker, and that's reinventing the wheel.
Yeah, and the speed, I imagine, is as important to you and your colleagues in the intelligence community as it is in the national defense sector.
Absolutely. And we do partner with the national defense community as well, but speed could be the difference of, you know, a million things. And so I say that with us, we're looking at trying to bring the intelligence to those that may need it as quick as possible, as well as ensuring that we're meeting all the policies and all of the mechanisms to ensure that's possible. But we want to take advantage of the time and make sure that we're streamlining that to get it to the customers as quickly as possible. Always.
Well, last time you were on the show, you talked about the cloud infrastructure that you've built and your colleagues have built at CIA, and some of those colleagues have been on this program in the interim talking about the cloud work that you've done. How did that underpin, how did that lay the foundation for the work that you're doing AI-wise, and what else did you have to build infrastructure-wise to be ready to make this move?
Absolutely. So really, without the cloud foundation, we wouldn't be able to make the AI models possible. We're very fortunate to now be on this newer cloud journey for 5 years, if you can believe, commercial cloud enterprise. I know, right? Awarding in the fall timeframe, right around in COVID. And so with that being our foundation, really, in order for AI to be available to the customers and really to use it for all the tools and applications, we really need to have that compute and that storage in place and that foundational as well as the network capabilities, right? And so the closest the data is to the customer, the more that they can readily use it, harness that data to tie into applications or just a multitude of uses. But we started out, and so the last, you could say, 3 to 4 years was really building that foundation, working with industry, our cloud service providers to make the foundation available, and then we move up the stack, of course, software as a service, and looking at making those models available. And so very fortunate to be where we are today. The models are available. We have a ton of use cases and partnerships, both internal and external, but we have been doing well with that, and so very pleased.
It is striking that it was 5 years ago that you let that cloud contract, because I remember when that came out, when you announced that, folks even in civilian agencies said, oh my gosh, CIA is going to the cloud? And you gave a lot of organizations cover and actually called to account some agencies that were a little bit slow on the civilian side who had that reaction. Well, if CIA is going to do it, we can, or well, now we really have to. How do you think that's driven the discussion, not just across the IC, but across the government as a whole?
I think I'm very proud to say I feel like we at CIA have been very humbly able to lead that way, lead that charge. Just as you were saying those statements about people being surprised, I do enjoy being at CIA, and we love to, as people say, shake up the apple cart a little bit. And so we looked at it as we wanted to make the data, the information, the intelligence as quickly and rapidly available to our customers. We're looking at the asymmetric nature of threats. We have multitude of threats and requirements that people want to use, and that's just something that we can't do by ourselves. So us looking towards the cloud is how can we augment our capabilities, how can we form partnerships in order to leverage what's already been done in industry, bring that best in breed technology to the agency, and then continue to flourish from that. And it's been found, it's been amazing, not just across the IC, but even the defense community. And so frequently we do meet with other agencies or elements across a multitude, as well as other companies, to learn from them, but as well as sharing our journey as to how we started and how we got to where we are today.
I mentioned at the beginning of the conversation, Linnea, that you're moving now out of the planning phase of using AI tools and into the implementation phase. How did you know you were ready? What were the markers by which you determined, okay, we can really open this up to a lot more users across the organization with confidence?
Absolutely. There's a famous quote that says the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago,
that's
right? And so with us, every
second
journey,
best days today.
Exactly, right? And so that's how we felt. It was every journey starts with a single step. And so for us, we wanted to ensure that we had the foundation available. We did start with smaller use cases, low-lying fruit. In some cases, people might take the hardest problem they have, and that just wasn't, for us, we wanted to start with something small and then build out from there. And so our cases that we used to start out was really partnering with industry partners and tested use cases, such in the cybersecurity realm. There's a ton of agentic or generative AI to look for threat and monitoring or tipping and a various amount of things. And so that's something that's always rapidly changing in the cybersecurity realm. And so we wanted to do that. And then, also during the COVID timeframe, you had the human resources and the digital connectedness and the virtual aspects. And so we saw, some potential use cases there. And so I would say we just built upon it, but really even internally, we work closely with our directorates and our organizations and really want to hear them from a tech perspective and then see what's in the realm of possible and then work together. And so we just take it one step a day, one day at a time.
Linnea, it's great to have you back on the show. Thanks for joining me again today.
Thank you.